use permit for a new restaurant located at 208 Main Street, zoned downtown commercial by Paul Riglio. We have new design, been handed out. Alright.
Yep.
Is that the only change we have?
That's the main thing. We brought the gable a little higher in the front, so.
Is that a recessed door on there now?
It's a recessed door in the front, yes. So it's
On the Main Street side.
On the Main Street side, yeah. This is again a picture taken if you're looking at Sarah's looking diagonal from Sarah's corner. Try to get a little more class and work with the trim level and looking at those. And that's the other one.
Do you have any questions on that part? I'll move down to the planning part of the meeting. Site plan approval. Same conditions as last time, the same conditions. Okay, I'll entertain a motion granting site plan approval with those following conditions. So moved.
Second.
It's been moved in second. Is there any further discussion? Before we vote again, I want to make sure that you understand that Jeff's not voting tonight because he has a little conflict with it, with his permanent job, so he's abstaining.
What's he doing here, man?
He's supporting the commission. He's here. He's not.
He's part of our commission and everybody understands.
Yeah. He has to give you other approvals further down the line. He doesn't want to be conflicted with his other job. So.
You need a permit from the health department, that would be coming from me.
What was that?
You'll need a permit from the health department, that comes from me.
So. He's trying not to bias his opinion on those issues. So, is there any further discussion?
Did
All those
something
in
be
favor?
said?
Huh?
Did something be said?
Usually not a public hearing. Go ahead, Jim.
Well, I was just going to say, I mean, obviously, during my tenure as a councilman and as a mayor, I think I manifested a strong interest in downtown and maintaining a character down there. To take a walking tour or driving tour through the downtown, you recognize that we have a very eclectic style of architecture. There is no unifying theme that was ever codified, that we could say, here is the standard. Obviously, if we did, we wouldn't be meeting in this ugly building. But, so I think, they're coming downtown. One, I guess, seeing the comments that were made at the previous meeting, I guess to hold the Origlios to some sort of idyllic image that has never been codified would be arbitrary and capricious at best and illegal at worst. That could lead to an Article 78, but I think, what they're offering to bring downtown would have nothing but a positive effect, not only for themselves, but in terms of increased foot traffic downtown, in terms of the generation of sales tax, property tax, possibly new jobs, and just the fact that we're dealing with a known entity here. It's not like somebody's coming in from out of town. They've already, manifested their concern and their contributions to the community. So, I think, you're not dealing with an unknown. So I would be strongly in favor of the Planning Commission granting the site plan.
Well, seeing I've opened it up, does anybody else want to say anything?
I honestly believe there's not one person on this planning commission that is opposed to this project to go forward. It's how it was skewed in the papers there that maybe take a kind of a setback approach with that, Jim. As far as for the buildings and the architectural structure around the area, whether it be the hotel like that, there's not a person on this planning commission that was involved in that. Sometimes you learn through your mistakes and you kind of take a reserved approach when something new is coming in. That's the only reason why. Nobody is opposed to this on this entire commission, I can tell you that, moving forward. It's just, like it says, these buildings here around this area here, you're right. I mean, I have historical homes too. You take a lot of pride in the city of Oneida here. You don't want to make the same mistakes over and over again. You learn through your mistakes. But to criticize people here on this planning commission for, like, condoning, which we aren't, and,
And I hope that my remarks were not meant as understood as a criticism.
It's the one thing that makes this board work good, is we have a lot of people with different backgrounds, different aspects, some from planning, some from engineering. You know, so people do have opinions
Yeah, not
on
meant
what
as
the city
criticism at all.
like, so.
And the big problem I have with it, Jim, is, as far as I'm concerned, it did pass. We had a majority that voted for it. If we were in a village and not the city, the rules are different. Why the rules are different, I can't figure out why. The applicant comes before a board and a quorum that should get a majority vote, not an obsolete or an imaginary figure that's needed. Of people that, in essence, what happens is every person that's out in a quorum situation is an automatic no vote, and that is not fair. And hopefully we can look into it. I'd like an answer from the state as to why it's that way. You're a lawyer, and I bet you couldn't give me a good reason.
I'm not a lawyer.
You're not a lawyer? Oh, I thought you were.
Minister.
I won't even make a lawyer joke after that.
Well, and all I can say about that is we find out what the rules are. We don't always understand it ourselves as to why they are the way they are. But after the last meeting, and I think Fred confirmed this as well, we took a quick look at it, and we discovered that, in fact, even with a quorum, it was a legal meeting. But you had to have a majority of the entire membership.
Right. Which
Not of the quorum.
Which I don't believe is fair.
Well,
Because in essence, it gives the three that are not here
Right.
an automatic no vote. And it also gives veto power to anybody that's sitting with those four. And that is wrong.
No, I understand your
There's
argument.
only one person that should have veto power in the city, and that's the mayor. But
So we had the discussion, first and a second discussion.
Yeah.
So, anybody else want to say anything? All right, it seems the sensitivity of this, I'd like to roll call vote on
Fred Myers,
that. Aye.
Barb Henderson, Sue Luan. Aye. Gary Heffernan,
aye.
Jeff Snyder,
Abstain.
James Clary.
Aye. All right, come before our board tonight.
I would want to make a comment now if I could. I didn't want to say anything before the vote. I came actually to thank you because you are a group of volunteers and I know you've been under a lot of pressure these last few weeks. And I want to thank you for your service. Number two, I also want to thank you for your support of the restaurant going in downtown. I think will be a great asset